Mother, tell your children not to walk my way. Tell your children not to hear my words.
Hello there, Sir from 17 once again, bringing you Interval 5 in my F.E.A.R 3 Insane Difficulty video walkthrough. And here is probably the longest level of the game, and quite easily the second most challenging one. But do not fear, it's not too bad, and for the majority it's kinda simple. It's just there's a couple of boss fights, there's a couple of bullshit moments, and there's just, you know, a whole smorgasbord with of F.E.A.R madness and missilery. But pick up the triple burst weapon, because this is going to be, as I've said, this is a staple of this game. This is the linchpin of pretty much the entire campaign. If you can aim, you can win with this weapon. It's absolutely fantastic. And as you make your way through here, don't worry whatsoever. All it is the game's attempt to try and scare you once again. It's dark, it's dismal, it's got lots of, you know, steam bursting and all that kind of madness, and it's just its attempt to try and put you on edge. And by now you're either going to be quite unnerved by the game and, you know, tentative and wondering what the fuck's going on and kind of shitting your pants a little bit, or you're going to be completely immune, completely like, why does this game keep trying to fucking scare me when it's so obliviously bad at it? And I suppose it all depends on the type of person you are, because I've got a friend who absolutely despises horror games and can't play them. But me myself, I've got to that point. Obviously I mentioned in the last video that I'm really disenfranchised from the horror genre because I kind of saw too much from such a young age. But I'm at that point right now where I actually enjoy the on edge feeling you get from this genre, so I do enjoy playing them myself. But they've got to be a good one, like the original Dead Space. That game was terrifying for me because it had really great sound design, and I do believe that the sound is pretty much half of the battle, and if you don't have the sound, you're definitely going to be missing out on a lot of things. And this game has the sound. It's too goddamn cliche, as horrendous as that is for an explanation. But as you come out onto this street, you're going to see this first fortification. There's going to be a ton of dudes. They're all going to be carrying either the burst weapon or the SMG. He's got the burst weapon. And if you don't know where the enemies are, just look for the trail of bullets as they try and shoot you. That's definitely going to give them away. And right there you'll notice I got an explosion on that dude, and the reason for this is you're going to start versing enemies that have propane tanks on their back. And I'm not too sure why those dudes have the tanks on their back. I don't know if it's because they're wearing a hazmat suit with some sort of breathing apparatus and it's oxygen, or if it's just kind of like one of those gaming tropes that enables you to have something that blows up. But suffice to say, it makes it a lot more simpler than it should be. And the reason why I've come up here is because you can be really cheeky on this section if you know what you're doing, and you can just pop a load of people before they even get remotely close to you. And right there, that is me hitting the tank once again, making the dude blow up. But a lot of the time it will not get you any residual kills around it, because it doesn't seem to have the same kind of shockwave that it did in, say, F.E.A.R 2. Or like F.E.A.R 1's fire extinguishers were like fucking the grenades off Call of Duty 4. They were like mini nukes. It was absolutely ridiculous. But just keep picking these dudes off from a distance. Obviously the farther away from them you are, the safer you are when it comes to these kind of encounters. And you're going to have to push down there eventually, so you don't have to play it like this. You can just rush down there and get to, you know, some mass murdering. It's entirely up to you. I would definitely say be careful on your way down here. Make sure you use the concrete as cover, because you are going to be triggering spawns. And this game is notoriously poor for its spawn system. You will get people spawning in front of you, you'll get people spawning at the side of you, and if you play these levels too quickly, you're probably going to see the game over screen enough to make you want to punch yourself in the balls. And any self-respecting gentleman knows, if he's ever sat down too quickly, that balls are very gentle and very, very sensitive to direct impact. But keep on doing the F.E.A.R bizzo on these guys, shooting, hiding, slow motioning. And just keep making your way down here. That helicopter marks that's probably the last of the enemies on this street, but it also means as you move forward you're probably going to be tripping a spawn, so just be careful. Oh, I tell a lie, that is an enemy with one of the propane tanks on his back. No idea why, once again. But this level kind of comes out of nowhere, and I really didn't understand it at the time, because there's a lot of slow moments where there's not that much combat and you're walking through buildings and it's doing a little bit of exposition, it's doing a little bit of the, you know, try and shit your pants with our ambience. And then there's the big old firefights that you're going to do. There's also like a pseudo boss fight with the creeper that's hunting you. And then there's an actual boss fight against one of the F.E.A.R commanders, which is the big blue dudes that talk real serious like. And he is a pain in the arse, him. It's not a difficult fight, so don't worry. I was actually a little bit nervous about these fights, because on Fearless, I didn't struggle with them. It's just, there are certain parts of a game when you play it through and you know you're going to be doing, you know, the hardest difficulty run, certain parts stand out that they could possibly be challenging on the hardest difficulty. And this was one of those. And the main reason for it is, I didn't realise that you actually fight two different F.E.A.R commandos. I thought it was just one, and I thought you just kept disappearing and spawning in different places. And it was just me being an idiot. And when I got here on Insane, I did it first time, and it was very simple. I just thought I had like the prerequisite in the back of my brain that it was going to suck massive cock. And luckily enough, I was saved from any forceful fellatio. But an interesting little thing that doesn't quite add up to me is the secrets on this game. I mean, there's obviously the dynamic link bodies and there's the Alma dolls, and they're all constantly changing because the game is different every time you play it. There's certain spots where they can be, certain spots where they can't be. It's a little bit like the director from Left 4 Dead, but nowhere near as complicated or as concise. And I just don't really like it. The main reason is I do enjoy a game that if you play it long enough you can master it, you can learn it, you can basically understand it so much that you don't even realise you're playing anymore. It's just an instinct, it's just a reflex, it's a reaction, and they're my favourite type of games. That's why I like action games. They're well designed action games, should I say, because some fucking action games are dog shit. But like on the old F.E.A.R s, there used to be caches everywhere of ammunition, of, you know, the injection guns that gave you more life or more slow motion, and just little caches of weapons and little stashes and things. And this game does have the occasional stash where you might find a rocket launcher or a sniper rifle, but what it seems to do even more is have places where there's a pistol. Like, the pistol seems to be the hidden fucking super omega cannon or something. And the pistol on this game is pretty dog shit, really. I'm not a fan of it at all, but for some reason when you're looking around in all these crooks and crannies and on all the tables, there's always a pistol knocking about, like they expect you to beat the game with just the pistol, when really anybody with any kind of brain cells is going to swap that piece of shit out for a better gun immediately, because what's the point in handicapping yourself unless you're trying to prove something or you've got far too much time and no girlfriend. But right now, as soon as you drop down onto this decking, it's going to start a nice little like battle between the psycho cultist dirty scrub. Oh, look at that! I'm sorry, but there was nothing in the fucking way of that grenade throw. That is how bad the detection on this game can be. That is just a cock in the mouth. Don't ask me how I know, it just is. And right now, what will happen is the psychos will attack the soldiers at this checkpoint, and the soldiers will eventually die, and when they die the psychos are going to come for you. And there is a shit ton of them. There is a fucking whole bunch of these dudes. And they must be coming off an assembly line somewhere, but the best thing to do is just to stay on this piece of decking that I'm on. You can snipe at them over the railing as they fall down, because they will drop at the part of the broken road, and they'll also climb up. But if they do climb up, just back up a little bit and just burst them. This is a really good opportunity if you're going for points to get the 20 kills in a row without taking damage, because this is the most predictable enemy on the game and one of the simplest. The only problem with them is they can be extremely resilient, and you wouldn't think so, seeing as how they don't have any ammo. Ammo? What the fuck am I on about? They don't have any armor or any military training. They're just a bunch of sand diggers that fucking, you know, decided to go looting and painting shit on the face. But as you can see, this gun absolutely tears them apart, especially if you can get a torso shot, because it's too powerful. It fires really quickly. I mean, can you imagine if the M16 on Call of Duty 4 fired this quick? And don't get me wrong, the M16 on Call of Duty 4 fires really fast, but this thing can fire almost as fast as you can tap it. It doesn't seem to have like a trigger restraint. And that dude actually punches me. Do you see him? Do the cheeky block like it's Condemned. Oh, I miss Condemned. The first game was such a good game, and the second game was nowhere near as good, but it introduced so many cool things, and I just couldn't help but love it. And the story did get absolutely batshit crazy, ridiculous, and fucking hammed it up to high heaven, but I still enjoyed it. And that is a game that I can't wait for a sequel to, because they've pushed the precipice so past beyond bizarre that the next game is going to probably have you playing as a unicorn riding on the back of a dragon trying to take down a communist regime, because it can't get any crazier than that game already is. It's fucking nuts. It really is. But this is another slow part where you're going to see me cruising through killing dudes and just doing the F.E.A.R thing, so I'm going to give you guys a little update on some of the stuff that's been happening on my channel, because I do enjoy to do it. I do enjoy to keep the people that are interested in the loop. Because like I've said numerous times in previous commentaries, I'm trying to build an empire, and the empire is as much about the community as it is about the fucking figureheads. But I've been looking into ways of increasing my view counts, and I'm a really prideful guy when it comes to work ethic, and when it comes to things like getting something to work your way. And I'm not the best guy at asking for help. I don't like doing it. I like earning things. I like doing it myself, and I like proving that I deserve what I get, because it's all come from hard work and it's all come from my own volition. So that is the reason why you'll never see me doing sub for sub. You'll never see me with 5,000 friends, because I'm whoring out friend requests in the hope that somebody's going to take an interest in my channel, because I just think it's very underhanded. I think it's bitchy, really. It is the bitch ways of marketing, and that probably has something to do with the fact that I don't have any kind of sponsorship or partnership where there's no money involved, because do not con yourself, people. When it turns into a business, your marketing and your imperatives will change. You will become a different person to get more money and to get more views, and it does turn into being a businessman rather than an entertainer. And there's a lot of big YouTubers right now that are getting an absolute shitstorm because they're focused on one thing and one thing only, and that is being a businessman before a commentator. And I'm at that moment right now where I'm about to hit 500 subscribers, and it's took me, if I'm completely honest, a lot longer than I thought it would. And that's not because I have delusions of grandeur or I sit in this high throne of grandiosity. It's nothing to do with that. It's just a case of I like to succeed when it comes to the things that I try and do. In every endeavour I do, I try to do it the best. And when I see other people that I don't deem to be even on my level with infinitely superior levels of success, it can be a little disheartening, especially when you're putting a lot of time and effort into things. So I did hope I would have had more subscribers and more of a following, but don't take that as a bad thing or as me being a dick, because the people I do have are fucking awesome. They're some of the coolest people I've had the pleasure of replying to on comments, and I've had the pleasure of taking interest in my channel. They're absolutely terrific, and I love each and every one of them. But I just kind of hoped it'd be moving along at kind of the same speed as my upload rate, because I've been doing this for maybe 7 months now, 6 months, and I've nearly done 500 videos, and a lot of people are probably going to go, well, that's probably because they're shit videos. And I'm sorry, but even if you don't like my commentary, if you don't like my opinion, you can't deny that the work and the effort that's gone into them. It's not like I'm uploading 20-second fucking trailer videos to real videos where I go, oh, check this out, guys, in 2 hours I'm going to be uploading the next part of XXXXX, because that's not how I've done it. I've just done it all as if I would do anything, like I did Achievements, where I just fucking went balls to the floor, all or nothing. And I've kind of hit a wall when I hit 400 subscribers, so I'm looking into things like bigger enterprises that hopefully will get me views, that will hopefully get me exposure. And that doesn't mean that I'm sending messages to big YouTubers asking for help, because I can't do that. It's one of those things, if they were to drop on my channel and be like, this is pretty cool stuff, I'd like to advertise you, that would be fucking awesome. But at the same time, I'm not going to go asking them for it, because they didn't ask other people for it, they earned it themselves, and I just look like that fucking douchebag that's joined a month ago, doesn't have any videos, and wants to just become a millionaire off of YouTube, and that is not what I want to do. I just want to get my shit out to the widest audience possible, because that is the fulfilling part of this. It's the fact that it's helping people, and it's something productive out of a hobby that gets looked down upon these days. And that was a massively complicated setup for what I'm going to say next, but before I do, this is a bit of a standoff. This is a Braveheart moment where you have to defend this door as it's opening. You don't have to literally defend it, but this is the best spot to do it from. And what's going to happen is you're going to get attacked by a lot of the cultists, a lot of the cannibals. Occasionally there'll be a suicide bomber thrown in, just for the fucking joy of it. And there's also, once you've killed a big wave of the melee opponents, there's going to be a couple soldiers that spawn. The good thing about the soldiers, though, is there's also going to be more cultists, and the soldiers will fight the cultists. So you'll notice I keep one of the soldiers alive, and I just let him go to town and kill as many people as he can. You don't have to do this, and it's probably a detriment to leveling up and getting stronger quicker, but I did it because I thought it'd be an interesting strategy, and it definitely works. And then once everything's dead, just finish off what's left and just continue defending the door. But anyhow, back to the big heartfelt story that I started. One of my subscribers mentioned trying to aim at Huppet Gaming. It's a channel that's owned, I think, and created by two guys. One of them is Woody's Gamertag, who is a massive YouTube name for anybody that doesn't know him. And their community channel, basically, if you put their advertisement, the Huppet Gaming, you know, helping players unite into teams, or whatever the acronym is, if you put their little promotion thing at the start and at the end of your commentary, you can submit it to their channel, and if they deem it worthy, they'll upload it. So that's what I've done. I've created just it's a Call of Duty commentary. It's on Black Ops. It's just a quick demolition on launch. It's decent enough gameplay. It's nothing special, and the commentary in it is kind of different because I didn't get to do an intro. I didn't get to do, you know, music over Chopper Gunner and things like that because I couldn't have anything copyrighted. And instead of just being my usual self, I had to sell my channel a little bit, and I couldn't swear too much because there's guidelines about, you know, being aggressive, being fucking ranty, about hating and anything racial and all sorts of different guidelines. And I kind of turned it into a bit of a joke on the video because I was going to do this massive speech about how we give words power by, you know, using them or by not using them and scorning people for using them. And then I went off onto this whole philosophical fucking standpoint of we give words the ammunition to facilitate hate from them, just like we give paper worth by, you know, attributing money to it and giving it this big economy system. And I went off on quite an interesting rant, and I ended up just cutting it and doing the commentary again. The main reason is because I'm doing it with the Tritons, and I recorded it without turning the fucking mic on like a moron, and I decided to stay away from that and instead try and do the most natural commentary I could. And if there was any cursing in it, I was going to put a bleep sound over the cursing and then add a swear jar counter. And it turned into a little bit of a feature on the video, and I thought it was kind of funny. That might just be me thinking it's funny, it might not come across that way, but we'll soon see. I'm currently uploading the video to the place that I have to before I can send the message saying, you know, this is my shit. And then what happens is it goes through a judging period of all the people that are moderators or in charge of the channel. They will view the video, and if they all deem it worthy, they'll upload it. And my biggest fear right now is obviously failure, because I'm sure I think I'm pretty good, but not everybody else does. It's all opinion at the end of the day. It's all very subjective, so you never know how you're going to be taken, especially if these are people that have never heard my commentary. And that commentary is very different to the normal ones that I do, because I mean, I was nervous when I was doing it, for one thing, and you can really tell I'm talking kind of fast, and it didn't seem to feel right. But that's the end of the first section of Interval 5. Do apologise I didn't talk too much strategy there. I just thought I'd update you on some of the more personal statements of my channel. But thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.